I do not remember how this idea for the Sunday talk came to me, buying time. It was long time ago, so it is now I don't remember what brought it. But we know about time a few things. I am not going to talk many philosophical or scientific ideas about time this time. It is reserved for some other time, although they are important, but the focus for now is on the practical side, how we look at time, its availability, and what we are going to do with it. One of the very clear perceptions of time that we have is that we can go only in one direction in time. We cannot go back in time. In space, we have this choice, this is a big difference between time and space. That in space, you do not find it odd if it is said that, well, I went to New York and then came back to Providence. It is perfectly understandable, yes. Even not just New York, you can go to Mars and come back, no problem. But when it is in terms of time, if I say that it is that I went in 2050 and came back in 2016 again, it may not sound understandable at all. You went there and you came back? No. Or we cannot say that at present it is very difficult. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow again, possibly there is snow, Wednesday also. So let us go back to springtime now. It is not possible to do that much we know. We can wait for the spring to come, but we cannot go into the spring of 2015 right now. Going back in time is not possible practically. In imagination we do that, but in practice actually we cannot do it. This is an intriguing problem in physics as well, to find out why traveling in time is only in one direction. It is never back, and a lot of work has been done on that, but at this time I have no time to talk about it. But let us see what buying time means in common parlors. There are a few connotations, different connotations, that again we are not going to deal with today, like postponing an event with the hope that the situation will improve in the meantime. So we postpone it when we find deciding either way is going to be very difficult. That they do in the Congress sessions many times. If a bill is going to be causing furor, causing public outrage, then okay, they will set up a committee. Okay, we will think about it, and later on we shall, in the next session we can take it up, hoping that by the time the situation gets cleared and nobody remembers what it was about. So, because public memory is kind of very weak, so people forget whatever is current, we think about it, once it is over, it is gone. Therefore, in Sanskrit, there is a very good proverb. It is a very nice couplet actually. The one line of it is, that Shubhasya Shighram means whenever you get a good thought in your mind, don't delay, act right now. Act right now, Shubhasya Shighram. Because if you wait, the time will make you forget about it, it will go on the back burner. Shubhasya Shighram. This part is used a lot. The next part of this couplet is not used that much, but it is equally important. And that is Ashubhasya Kala Haranam. Means when you get a not so good a thought, something revengeful or something that is, morally completely incorrect. And yet we know that our mind many times are filled with such thoughts. So therefore what is to be done then? Ashubhasya Kala Haranam. At that time wait, same thing, because the same idea of time will work. Slowly those irritating and angry thoughts will subside. Give time. Do not act immediately. When you think that, I will teach that fellow a lesson, and then, wait, don't act upon it right now. Don't be impulsive. So that is so that the time will take care of it, and we will see that anger has subsided, those emotions, their level has gone down, and good thought arises that no, I need not act with that kind of irritation. Also, there is another connotation that we pay somebody to work, and it is also called paying for their time. So we buy their time. So a lawyer told me that, it is, you just have to pay for my time, It is, I don't charge anybody much, Whatever time I spend, you just pay for my time. And then also there is another idea that it is used in the workplaces that somebody wants a longer leave, but is actually not entitled for that long a leave. So an arrangement can be struck that, you buy time, whatever work otherwise you put, instead of actually working, you will not get paid for that time, so it is a way of buying time. But here we are going to be concerned of a more important and day-to-day aspect that we see in our lives, that we want to do quite a few things, too many things to do, and we see that all of them, they require time, and we don't have it. We believe that we don't have time to do all these things. I have so many nice books on my shelves. It is wonderful books, I know I should read them. But where is the time? I don't have time. And so those things, they just remain there. I have got many nice DVDs to watch, and I think that I should watch them, but no time. Even I have not been able to open the plastic on them. It is just like that. But one thing I notice, that howsoever I may be stressed for time, I always find time for the things I immensely like. Whatever I like, I will push aside everything else and go for it. So, whatever I like, I get time for. And whatever I know is important, but there isn't that much time, there is not that much liking, then I do not do it, saying that I don't have enough time for all these things. See, where is the time? And I will give excuses. One of our Swamis, he was expert in that. I went to see him and said that, well, I have some work with you. I want 5 minutes of your time. And he started scolding me. He was pretty senior, and so seniors have right to scold the juniors. So he started scolding me, and do you know how much work I have to do here? I have to do this now. I have to do this now. I just finished this and you know that problem there and this problem there. And so he explained me for more than half an hour that why he cannot give me 5 minutes. So it is because it was not to his liking, to see that, well, to hear my problem and add more this thing to it. So he explained, and then, but when I pointed out to him that, see, we have been talking for more than half an hour about this, why not just add 5 more minutes? And then he accepted that. So it is. But this tells us that if we like something, we will find time for it. And another thing that we can see is that what we like need not be important. Because important, many things we like, but when we introspect, we see that they were not that important. The life could have gone as well without them. I liked them, but it is not important. So, to learn to separate these things is the key, friends. That importance is one thing, liking is a different thing. Liking, if you notice, it is short term. That what you like in the morning, you may not like in the afternoon. And what you fall for in the afternoon, you may see that in the evening it has lost its importance. It was not worth paying attention or spending time over. Liking is short-term thing. It is, whereas the goal is long-term. On liking, we go by impulse to what we like. It is an impulsive thing to do. It is not thought out. Goal is a well thought out something. This is what I want to achieve in my life. And therefore, in fact, one should give more thought or put in more time in deciding what should be the goal in my life. A very important thing if we look at that, because thus we will be able to do that which is important. And that will bring a lasting good in life. As we were meditating upon our true nature, which is one without second, and which is not bound by time and space, it brings us the ultimate freedom, ultimate peace, and ultimate happiness. And these are the things which are most important in life. So, when we see that what is important, I have to give time for that. That which is important has to be given time, even if I have to take away the time from what I like. And this requires pressure. Many of us, howsoever we may think that we are free to decide, we work really under external pressure. That there is a job pressure, for example. Many tell me, Swami, I would have liked to stay here one more day, but I have to go to work tomorrow. I have to do this. When there is work that pays you, then it has to be done. There is pressure. And one does it. When other things, okay, I may postpone it, I may not go for it, but if it is work, then I have to do it. Therefore, in schools, at workplaces, everywhere they have deadlines to put pressure. It is when the exams are far away, students while away their time in many things. But when they see that it is just 1 week away and I have so much to do, then that pressure makes them put their time in what is important. It may not be liked at all, but it is important. It is going to bring lasting good in my life, and therefore we pay more attention. Goal is for the long-term good, and the ultimate good really is that getting which nothing more is needed in life. That is the ultimate goal, and that is the realization of these three important things that really will be making our life fulfilled. Total freedom, complete peace, true happiness that is everlasting. That is going to fill our life fully. Nothing more will be needed in life anymore. That is what Bhagavad Gita announces. That this truth, Arjuna, Lord Krishna is telling, is such that getting which nothing more is needed in life. There is no craving for other things. And this is only with this attainment. Any other attainment, will still leave many cravings in life. Like you may be having a craving to get millions. And if suppose you get millions by good luck, you hit, say, jackpot, and then it is what after that again? What am I to do with that 5 million or whatever? That problem comes up. If you do anything else, always that question will still remain. Okay, what next I have to do? Only when we realize or experience our true infinite self, then this question will be answered once for all. This is a very special feature of this realization of our true, infinite, ever-free self. Then there is nothing left to be attained. Yam labdhva cha param labham manyate nadhikam tataha. That getting this, and nothing therefore is left to be attained in life. That is called fulfillment. Otherwise, it is always running, never reaching. That is the ordinary life. Always running, but never reaching. Always going where we don't know. But this is a goal-centric life, the goal that is well thought out. And then getting to this goal, when this becomes the priority. We again are faced with this obstacle that I have to do so many things. This is the ultimate goal, I know, but right now I have other things to do. And so, when shall I find time to achieve this goal? It will never come if we keep on just waiting. And therefore, it is important that we have to shake ourselves through inertia. One important aspect in buying time is that you cannot really buy it with money or any such things. It is by organizing yourself. One important thing in doing it is shaking us through this inertiatic attitude. So, it is okay, let us see it tomorrow, manana, and okay, so today let it be just like that. Tomorrow we will see, which never comes. So, it's like that. The things which I don't like, and so I say, oh, let it be today, tomorrow I will see, like doing taxes. Okay, today there is too much of mess, I have not kept my bills and I have to look into many other things. So it gets piled up. And then as it gets piled up, the inertia goes on getting increased. And then, it is, what is the last date? April 15. Okay. But now there is very little time. So, I will not be able to do it before April 15 anyway. So, let me seek extension. That also goes away. I know people who haven't done it for 3-4 years, it is. So, because it starts becoming more and more difficult when you keep it pending. It happens to me all the time when I think of, organizing my room. Oh my goodness, where to begin, Oh, today it is I am too busy with these things. Tomorrow or maybe day after tomorrow or next week, it is, we will see about it next week. And by the time what happens is the clutter gets more, and then when I look around, it is going to take too much time. So I will not be able to do it today because today I have so many other things to do. I have to watch a football game. Is it Super Bowl today? Okay. So it is, so I have to watch the football game, so no time for this. So, this is an important thing to kick out the inertia, and this is requires initiative. It is not going to happen automatically. That it is kicking out inertia is where the initiative is important. Okay, it will happen. No, we have to be up and doing and take charge of the things. In Mahabharata, there is a discussion about what a king should do. And it is, although we are not kings over a big kingdom, we should think that I am king in my life, Who decides the thing? I decide the things. So we should take charge of situation. Don't wait for time. It is, remember, the king will shape the destiny. Raja kalasya karanam. A very beautiful saying, Raja kalasya karanam. The king is the cause of the destiny. Destiny is not the cause of king. but king is the cause of destiny, of the future. So let us know that it is I who have to take a strong initiative, a strong first step, and then it will start. It is like when you start the car, you have to, the first thing is, before it starts rolling, it needs more push. Then once it starts rolling, it is a different thing. But first you have to give a push. Newton's law, the first law of motion. You all must have studied it in high schools, that things do not change automatically in the right way, at least. They continue to be in the same state unless acted upon by an external force. This is a simple law of physics, but it applies to psychology actually much more than to physics. That unless we are shaken out of that inertia, we don't act. So let us remember that it is I who am going to shape the destiny. There is in Sanskrit a very commonly read moral text, told in the form of very charming stories, called Hitopadesha. And there this idea comes again and again, that it is I who have to shape the destiny. It is I should not be waiting for things to happen. I have to act to make them happen. And this is where the human idea, human initiative comes. Animals, they are of a different type, but still they also have to take the initiative. This line from that book is quoted by Swami Vivekananda many times, that the animals do not enter in the mouth of sleeping lion. And the lion has to chase the prey and hunt them. They nahi suptasya sinhasya pravishyanti mukhe mrigaha. That the mrigaha, the lion's prey, those animals, they do not come to the lion and force the lion to open its mouth and enter in it. Lion has to take initiative, chase them. What I mean is that if we have goal, we have to chase the goal, chase the objective with initiative, with determination, with proper direction. We have to go after it, and thus we will then see that we are finding time. It is when we are shaken out of inertia, we see that the time is there. Another thing is to be remembered, which has been very humorously presented by a management expert in mid-1950s in a book, Parkinson's Law. And that law sounds, funny, but really one should be thinking about it, that the law states in its original form, work expands to fill the available time. Work expands to fill the available time. And in the explanation of that, Parkinson says that it is not that this work requires this time. It is whatever time you have, that work will fill that time. It is, and it is so, so true, friends. Sometimes, I have to go for travel, and then I will spend 2 days for my packing. Oh, well, day after tomorrow I have a journey coming up. I have to start packing right away. And I spend time because I have 2 days, so I take it kind of leisurely. And still, there is always the last minute rush is going to be there, And it is. So, most of the packing really gets done in that last minute. It is. So, how much time did it require? Once I got a letter, I was at that time in my college days, and I was on vacation at my parental house, and there was a letter that I was expecting. Those were not the days of emails and phones. You have to get the actual mail, and due to various reasons it wasn't coming, that when exactly I have to apply for the course. And it is, you have to do it before that date. And I got this letter, and which said that that was the last day for submitting applications. And now, of course, the journey would take about 20 hours from where I was and then where I had to go. How to do it? But I was desperately wanting to take that course. So I decided anyway, rush there. Tomorrow is anyway a Saturday, a holiday. So I will meet the professor at his home and tell that, please, accept me. And I shot a telegram. That was the best way of communicating those days, quick, that I am coming. That's all, one line. And then I had only 5 minutes to pack and start to catch the train. And I did all the packing in 5 minutes. Otherwise, just for hugging and saying bye, we take half an hour, So it is, but in 5 minutes, I was out of home and I caught the train right in the nick of time. So it is, I could do it in 5 minutes. And remember, if I can do it in 5 minutes, most of you will be able to do it in half the time. It is, so it is, we have to remember this law, therefore, that it can be done in less time than we think. Just to give you another funny incident to remind you of this, is that here we have a rule for cooking, that you have to finish cooking the lunch or breakfast in half an hour. And now, initially, many thought that this is Swami, this is impossible. You have been putting undue restrictions. It is not right. But now many of them can finish cooking the breakfast in half the time. Cooking lunch takes that doesn't require always half an hour. In 20 minutes it's all done. It is because if that is the time available, then our faculties start working in a different way. And that can be accomplished actually. It is we think about it differently. When we say that this is the time available, our mind becomes much more energetic, much more focused, much more organized. So this is work expands to fill the available time. An important principle to remember. Of course, there are many variations of this law, and which are equally true, like the expenses expand to consume the available income. How much money is needed for living? I know one person that she told me, well, Swami, right now I am just getting student stipend. How much can I manage in that? And yet she was living pretty well, no problem. But every time if the question comes for expenses, I'll say, well, I am just a student, I am just getting my little stipend. When I get job. And then when she got a job, Swami, I don't know where all the money goes away. It just vanishes. I don't know. This is for this, this is for this, this is for this. In the end, nothing is left with me. So, because I thought that she must be having now, she has 4 or 5 years of job. So, she must have saved hundreds of thousands at least. But nothing, all was gone. So, it is like that. Then these computer days has another variance of this law, that the Google Chrome fills all the RAM that you have. All the RAM memory available will get filled by the Google Chrome. So, it is, whatever is available will get filled. So, the important thing is, therefore, remember a lot can be done in available time. I remember that, and I won't forget that wonderful advice. It was from the chaplain and director of religious life at Brown University, her name Janet Cooper Nelson. Many of you must have heard her here. And she was organizing a meeting, and there was only half an hour available for the all the speeches, and there were about 10 to 11 presenters. And she said, okay, we'll do like this. 1 minute for every speaker. And 1 minute? No, 1 minute actually, you can say a lot in 1 minute. Don't think of it as 1 minute, but think 60 seconds are there. 60 seconds. So how many things you can say like that? In 3 seconds you can say one sentence. And so forth, So in 60 seconds, 3 sentences per second. You can put in 20 important sentences in 1 minute. And yes, one can do that actually. That it is very, otherwise we can never shorten. That wonderful phrase that a minister like me was always urged, like I am always urged, why do you talk so long? Make your speeches short. And then one minister announced that, well, finally I have decided that today I will shorten my speech no matter how long it takes to do it. So it is that not like that, but actually we can compress a lot of thought in short time. It is every second, every little moment has its value. Then prioritize. When one has that kind of organizing skills, and practical spiritual life really depends on organizing our life. It is not very different from a business organization. A business administrator has to see the priorities, set the goals, set these limits for all other things. So, a spiritual life also is like that. We have to prioritize and organize that, okay, this is important. All other things will fall in places. Let me tell you an important incident. that Swami told me with whom it happened, that one lady, she was an entrepreneur, a very successful lady, and came to see that Swami, that yes, I have been initiated into meditation, but I don't find time. When do I do the meditation? Because in the morning I get so busy, I have to take care of my children and this, and then I have to start my work. It is so compelling. It is I have to finish those things, and so I say to myself that maybe in the afternoon I will find time. But then I get so tired in the afternoon that I need to relax a little bit. And then I don't know when the evening comes, and then so many other things step in. I have to go here, there, do shopping. No time at all. So when do I meditate? Then the Swami told her, do you want to meditate or you don't want to meditate? Think about it. If you want to meditate, you have to find time. And he gave an example. Suppose your son falls sick, and people fall sick, children especially, every now and then they have some running nose or a little fever and all that. What do? Do you keep the little one just like that, or you take the little one to the doctor? How do you find time for that? And she said, well, that gets adjusted. Why does that get adjusted? Why does it not hamper your work? Well, somehow it falls in place. Everything falls in place. Does it not fall in place? Just think of it. These things fall in place. And so, remember that, and that meditation also has to be put in, that it has to be done. And everything else will fall in place. And then that lady said, yes, I understand. So, and then Swami just asked, so when will you be meditating? She said, right early in the morning, the first thing I will do is to meditate. Because then everything, when this most important thing is taken care of, everything else will find its own time and will get adjusted. But I have to prioritize this. So spend time for that. Everything else will certainly fall in place. Let us remember that. Everything, if we meditate, what happens, another thing with meditation is that it really brings time to you. I remember one of our Swamis, he had given lecture here also and told that thing here in the lecture, that somebody asked him, a very busy man, that how long does it take, how much time I have to give for meditation every day? And this Swami said, minus 1.5 hours. And that man thought 1.5 hours. Oh, 1.5 hours is too much of time. The Swami said, no, I told minus 1.5 hours. What do you mean minus 1.5 hours? Never thought like that. The Swami explained, suppose you meditate for half an hour. You will get so well organized that your work will be finished in 2 hours less time. So what have you got now? 1.5 hours extra. You saved 1.5 hours. You bought really time. You bought time by meditation. 1.5 hours you got extra. And this is true, friends. When our mind is more organized, then we see that the efficiency increases a lot and we can accomplish more in less time. It is those who are not organized, the day is just spent in thinking, what should I be doing, and nothing gets done. It is somebody I wanted to invite to give lecture here, and then that person said, Swami, it is good, but I am very busy. And I told, that is why I am requesting you. There are two types of people, busy and lazy. Lazy will never find time. It is the busy that can find time. That is why I am asking you. And he laughed heartily and then agreed to come. So it is that second important thing is, it is part of removing inertia, but I am telling it separately, mental agility. Always, as an organized person, we always have to have plan B, plan C ready in case the plan A for doing something. You have set aside the time for doing something. Now, if that something cannot be done, that doesn't mean the time should be wasted. There should be plan B in place to fill that time usefully. So, if this is not accomplished, certainly that will get accomplished. So, it is very important to practice mental agility. Inertia is to be at the worst thing in life, really. That is why Arjuna was warned by Krishna in the second chapter that do not get attached to not working. You should be working in a detached manner. But if that means getting attached to laziness, that is the worst thing that can happen. So don't get attached to that. So it is. Secondly, don't make excuses for not having time. As I was telling the story of that Swami giving excuses why he cannot find time, we also spend lot of time in thinking of excuses for not having time. There is a book actually, I don't recommend you read it, but then it is the book has the title 1000 Excuses for Not Having Time. So it is, if we have time to read that book, Okay, so it is, so begin and it will be done. Beginning is most important, begin, start the journey and you will get there. If you do not start, it will not get done. It will not get done. A very organized person, when I know him, that he arranges programs and then keeps the calendar and marks the dates, that okay, this, and then calls people, well, this is the date, will it be okay for you? I am marking it right now, so that, certain things may happen, but right now if I can mark it, at least these dates get blocked for me to do works. So it is, it's a good way, so that you have begun. That beginning is very important. So let us begin in the right earnest. And thus we will see that we have actually a lot of time than we think we have. A lot of time is there to do the important things, because we are taking away a lot of time from our unnecessary confusing our minds further by finding out excuses, by organizing our life better, to put things in proper perspective, to set the goal and how to reach the goal, a plan to reach the goal. That is, if we do that, we see that we can buy actually a lot of time and will be able to accomplish what we want to do. Thank you, friends. Any questions? There is still time. Just a few minutes if you have any question. Yes, Shravani?
I have never heard the term buying time. I only hear about spending time. I cannot spend time with you and time. So what is spending?
Well, if you have time, you can spend it, So for spending time, you first have to have time. And how do you get it? If you don't have, then you have to buy. Like you spend sugar by putting it into tea or whatever. I spend sugar, but if you don't have sugar, what do? Buy sugar. So same thing is with time, that you want to spend time here, there, but you have to have time for that purpose. So for that you have to buy time. And you can buy it in this manner, that by organizing, you do it, I know, you are just asking the question. Any other question? Yes, Heidi? Can you be a little louder? We have not much time distance, but the space distance is there,
I'm trying to say that, can you make more time by, like you said, focusing on God and meditating? Can you actually, since God's infinite, and He's not time or space, can you create more time? Because isn't time relative anyway?
Yes. Of course, when we are talking of time, we are talking of the relative plane only. In our true nature, as we were meditating in the beginning of this talk, we saw that there is no time there. Time and space are like, the vertical and horizontal lines that divide, like when you have a big cake and you cut it, you divide, put horizontal lines, you put the vertical lines, horizontal lines and all that, and thus the cake, one cake then becomes divided into so many pieces. So, like that, this whole universe is divided in time and space, and so we have the awareness of multiplicity, different things. Take out that dividing grid, lift it out, and then you will see that there is no time. That is our goal. But we have to work towards that goal through this mess of time and space. It is in the relative life alone that we have to manage time. It is, and then when we manage it properly in such a way that we will go beyond time, then there we don't have to manage it. That is how the idea of where you are, what is your destination, and how is the journey. Like you started from your home and then you came here at Vedanta. So for that you got into car, started driving towards Vedanta Society. prioritizing right these things, right direction, did not go here, there, just came here, parked your car. Now you are not sitting in the car because the purpose of car was finished at that point for that time. That yes. So similarly, we start with time and space, manage time and space in the right way towards the goal. If we do not manage, the car, for example, you wanted to come here and you didn't know how to go, you didn't take the directions and did not drive in the right way, then you will keep on driving and driving and driving without getting there. So, if we do not manage time and space properly, that is what is going to happen. We will be just wasting time and space available to us, and we will never get out of it. But when we manage them properly, then we will reach the destination, and then the vehicle of time and space will no longer be necessary. We will graduate from the school of time and space. So now we don't need to go to that school. The job of the school is done. So thank you.